What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So tomorrow is a big day for all NFL teams, especially my Steelers, the NFL draft of 2022. Today, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on who we should draft, who we shouldn't draft. Hope you guys enjoy. So the Steelers are picking first round, 20th pick tomorrow. Big news, of course, who's the draft? I look at drafts and say, who's our weakest point? Let's go after it. Last year, if you looked, our weakest point on the Steelers was our offensive line. Okay, it wasn't our quarterback, it wasn't our defense, it wasn't our wide receivers, our coaching, it was our offensive line. Najee Harris was getting beaten up, and just obviously him being so good, he still continued to make the Pro Bowl. But obviously, if you watch the Steelers, he just got beaten up, and it was dangerous to keep giving the ball to Najee Harris. Big Ben, obviously he wasn't his younger prime self, but obviously he was getting sacked, and our rushing yards were one of the lowest in the NFL also. We could not get anything going last year because of our offensive line. We didn't have enough time. Obviously, like I said, we didn't have prime Big Ben. But so all we had to do was give him another 1 to 2 seconds behind that offensive line. And obviously, he could have been a lot better. We could have had a couple more wins, a lot more yardage, a lot more touchdowns. Our biggest problem was definitely offensive line. So first round, what do I want to do? I want to draft offensive line. I've been saying this all offseason. I want an offensive line. Of course, now everyone's saying Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral. I also been saying this. This quarterback draft class is not good enough for the Steelers to waste a first round pick on. I do not think, unless you're a team, any team, unless you're a team that really needs a quarterback, like really absolutely needs a quarterback, I would not draft a quarterback this round. Because there's just not good talent. I don't see any of these guys being really standout, generational talent. There's nobody in this draft. I'm sorry. Kenny Pickett and Willis are probably the best quarterbacks. Maybe they could go to teams like the Falcons, Panthers, Seahawks, teams that actually do need a quarterback, but it's not the best options, is what I'm trying to say. At the 20th pick, the Steelers are picking a quarterback like this. I don't know. It's just a waste. First round. Second round and after, sure. First round to try to compete with Mitch Trubisky. I think Mitch Trubisky, I'm still going with Mitch Trubisky as the better quarterback than anybody in this draft. Of course, we're going to plan for our future. We have a lot better quarterbacks next year coming up in the draft class. If Mitch Trubisky doesn't work out this year, then go after them next year. This year, I really do not want to see the Steelers draft a quarterback first round. I've been preaching it in my podcast. I'm preaching it all off season, even during the season. I do not want a quarterback this year. Offensive line. Second round, wide receiver. Our wide receivers are kind of weak now. Deontay Johnson, he thinks about sitting out because of contract. Chase Claypool, obviously good. We lost James Washington, who very underrated. Any real Steeler fan will know that. I wish we used him more. Lost Juju to the Chiefs. After that, we don't really have much. Ray McLeod signed with the 49ers. I know we got Miles Boykin from the Ravens. I don't think he's going to be any good. I doubt he'll make the 53-man roster. I'll be honest with you. If he does, he'll be just a special teams player. We got the guy from the Bears. Cannot remember his name. But he'll be all right. He can be a good backup wide receiver for us. We're looking to fill is that Juju spot. We're looking to fill a Juju spot, and if Deontay Johnson decides not to play, his spot also. I think that we can target a wide receiver like that in the second round. I think this draft class has a lot of good wide receivers. I'd be happy to see the Steelers draft a wide receiver in the second round. They're picking in the second round, the 52nd pick. In the third round, we're picking 84th, a cornerback. Because Joe Hayden, obviously in contract terms, I don't know how that's going. Our secondary been bad last year. We lost a couple guys. I think that we should definitely go after a cornerback this year in the draft. Fourth round with the 138th overall pick, linebacker. Linebacker's another problem. We're not really seeing any true linebackers yet on our team. We did get Miles. Oh my gosh, I can't think of names anymore. Miles, not Myles Garrett. Oh my goodness. From the Jaguars. I cannot remember his name. I have no clue why. But we got him. And I'm obviously very happy for him that we got him. But we also lost, I'm pretty sure, Schobert. Devin Bush, I don't really have much faith in him. Spillane, he's definitely a tough linebacker, but I don't know if he's going to be really that good. He wasn't that good on coverage. Our linebackers are pretty weak. I like to see the Steelers draft in the fourth round a linebacker, maybe one or two. Sixth round, 208th pick, defensive line. Defensive line was another problem. Stephon Tuitt, don't know what's happening with him. A lot of our defensive linemen got injured. It's really just Cameron Hayward and I guess TJ Watt, of course. I don't know why I didn't mention him in the linebacker spot. I always just keep referring him to as a the end. But yes, of course, he is a linebacker, more of an edge player. But yeah, our defensive line is kind of weak. We gotta maybe draft a defensive line. Now, I know like in the sixth pick and a fourth pick and all like that, we don't have a fifth pick this year. We don't have a fifth round pick, but this late into the draft, when we get to like the sixth rounders and the seventh rounders, usually you're not drafting these types of players to really fill in spots. You're just filling them just to get some depth. You're not really looking at them as starters. You know, you'll be lucky if they even make the team in 1 to 2 years. But still, these are our weak spots. I think, you know, later on in the draft, we should go after a defensive lineman. Then we have 2 7th-round picks, a 225th and a 241st pick. So either of these, I put quarterback, defense, or running back. I know the quarterback draft class isn't good, but if we are really, you know, there's some good quarterbacks, some decent quarterbacks still available around this time, maybe go after them just to compete for that 3rd spot or 2nd spot. Not for a starter, obviously, but we do, of course, lack quarterback depth now. Of course, following the tragic passing of Dwayne Haskins, I doubt the Steelers would want to replace that either. I wouldn't blame them, so maybe they won't even go after a quarterback. I wouldn't blame them, though. Obviously, it was tragic, shocking news of Dwayne Haskins passing, but I don't know. It could always be on the table. Defense, maybe a safety, maybe another corner, maybe a linebacker, a running back. Also, Najee Harris getting a lot of snaps, a lot of touches. That keeps happening. You know, we might not see a prime Najee. We see it in the past, in history of sports and football with running backs. They get injured a lot because teams just overwork them. We're starting to see it with Derrick Henry. We saw with Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. I do not want to see that happen to Najee Harris. He got injured towards the end of the year last year. We can't have that happen to our 1st-round pick last year. So just to go over real quick, 1st-round pick, no quarterback, on an offensive line. 2nd-round pick, wide receiver. 3rd-round pick, a cornerback. 4th-round pick, a linebacker. 6th-round pick, a defensive line. And then the 2 7th-round picks could be a quarterback, could be defense, running back, anybody, just to fill in those weak spots. But 2 focuses in this draft, though, is 1 offensive line and a wide receiver. I prefer offensive line first. If we get a wide receiver first, I wouldn't mind that either, but really offensive line. If we get a quarterback 1st round or 2nd round, I would be mad. I don't know. It doesn't matter who it is. I would not be happy with who it is. Pickett, Corral, Willis, Ritter, Howell, nobody. I don't want no quarterback this year. I'm going to be mad if we pick one first, 2nd. If we pick one after that, fine, because usually I compete for that 1st round. That 1st starting spot, but trust me, no quarterback. You believe me, no quarterback. You don't want a quarterback this round. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my thoughts. Like making Steeler videos. I gotta get back on who that linebacker we got from Jaguars. Let me look him up real quick. Here we go. Jaguars, Steelers linebacker. Oh my goodness. Miles Jack. I knew it was Miles. I cannot remember the last name. Miles Jack. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel. Help me get to 7,000 subscribers. I'm out, guys. Peace.